Have you ever noticed how life whispers before it screams? Before exhaustion takes over your body, there is a quiet feeling of tiredness. Before anxiety becomes overwhelming, there is a subtle tension in the chest. Before burnout steals your joy, there is a gentle voice inside asking for rest. And before life forces you to slow down, it usually asks you politely many times. But most people never hear the whisper. They only hear the scream. Today's world rewards speed. Move faster. Work harder. Achieve more. Stay busy. Keep scrolling. Keep chasing. Keep proving. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, many people lose something precious. They lose themselves. What if the life you're desperately trying to build is the very thing preventing you from experiencing peace? What if the constant race isn't taking you closer to happiness? What if the greatest wisdom is not found in doing more, but in slowing down enough to truly see? The ancient teachings of Buddhism offer a powerful insight. Suffering often begins when we move through life unconsciously. We rush through moments that were meant to be experienced. We hurry through conversations that were meant to be felt. We race toward futures that don't yet exist. And in doing so, we abandon the only place where life is actually happening. This moment, right here, right now. If you've been feeling emotionally exhausted, if your mind feels crowded, if your heart feels heavy for reasons you can't fully explain, this message may arrive exactly when you need it. Not because your life is falling apart, but because your soul may be asking for something different, something slower, something gentler, something real. So take this journey with me, not as another task to complete, not as another video to consume, but as a small pause in the middle of a busy life. A pause that might change the way you see everything, because sometimes the most important step forward is learning how to stop. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment. Many people hear this and think it means we should stop caring, but that is not what it means. Attachment is not love. Attachment is not commitment. Attachment is the desperate grip we place on things we cannot control. We cling to success. We cling to approval. We cling to expectations. We cling to identities. And when life changes, as it always does, we suffer. Imagine holding sand tightly in your hand. The harder you squeeze, the more sand slips through your fingers. But when your hand relaxes, the sand remains. Life works much the same way. The tighter we grip, the more exhausted we become. The more we chase, the more restless we feel. The more we force, the more resistance we create. Yet modern culture teaches the opposite. It teaches us that every moment must be optimized. Every hour must be productive. Every hobby must become profitable. Every dream must happen immediately. But nature never rushes. Look at the trees. They do not compete with one another. Look at the clouds. They do not struggle to move faster. Look at the ocean. Its waves arrive exactly when they are meant to arrive. Nature understands something we have forgotten. Everything unfolds in its own season. The flower blooms when it is ready. The fruit ripens when the time is right. The sunrise never arrives early. And yet somehow we expect ourselves to grow, heal, succeed, and transform overnight. We demand impossible timelines from ourselves. Then we feel inadequate when reality doesn't obey our expectations. This creates a cycle of stress. Stress becomes anxiety. Anxiety becomes exhaustion. Exhaustion becomes emotional numbness. And eventually life forces us to stop. Sometimes through burnout. Sometimes through illness. Sometimes through heartbreak. Sometimes through a deep feeling that something isn't right. Life always finds a way to slow us down when we refuse to slow down ourselves. The question is simple. Will you listen to the whisper, or wait for the scream? One Zen story tells of a student who traveled many miles to learn from a master. The student arrived eager and excited. He had countless questions. He wanted wisdom immediately. As they sat together, the master began pouring tea into the student's cup. The cup became full. Yet the master kept pouring. Tea spilled over the edges and onto the table. The student finally exclaimed, "Stop! The cup is already full." The master smiled. "Like this cup, your mind is already full. How can I teach you unless you first empty it?" This story speaks directly to modern life. Many people are not lacking information. They are drowning in it. More podcasts, more videos, more advice, more opinions. more notifications, more noise. The problem isn't a lack of knowledge. The problem is a lack of stillness. A lake cannot reflect the moon when its surface is constantly disturbed. Likewise, wisdom cannot appear when the mind never becomes quiet. This is why meditation has remained one of the most powerful practices for thousands of years. Meditation is not about becoming someone else. It is not about achieving perfection. It is not about stopping thoughts forever. Meditation is the simple act of returning home to yourself. Again, and again, and again. Each breath becomes an anchor. Each moment of awareness becomes a doorway. Each pause becomes a reminder that peace was never outside of you. It was simply buried beneath layers of distraction. Think about the last time you sat in complete silence. No phone, no music, no television, no conversation, just you. For many people, even a few minutes feels uncomfortable. Why? Because silence reveals what busyness hides. It shows us the emotions we've been avoiding, the fears we've been outrunning, the wounds we've been covering. Yet healing begins precisely there. Not in escape, not in distraction, but in gentle awareness. A Buddhist monk once said that if we do not make time for wellness, we will eventually be forced to make time for illness. There is profound wisdom in that statement. Every moment you spend caring for your mind today becomes protection for your future self. Every mindful breath matters. Every moment of rest matters. Every act of self-compassion matters. Because peace is not built in a single day. It is built through small choices repeated consistently over time. And those small choices begin with one decision. The decision to slow down. Not tomorrow. Not when life becomes easier. Not after you finish everything on your endless list. Now. Because the present moment is the only moment you are ever truly given. And perhaps the greatest tragedy is not that life moves quickly. The greatest tragedy is realizing too late that you moved through it without fully living. So before life forces you to stop, choose to slow down willingly. Choose to breathe. Choose to notice. Choose to be present. Choose to return to yourself. Because the path to peace does not begin with speed. It begins with stillness. The deeper we travel into stillness, the more we begin to notice something surprising. Most of our suffering is not created by what is happening. It is created by our resistance to what is happening. A rainy day becomes frustrating because we wanted sunshine. A delay becomes stressful because we wanted certainty. A difficult conversation becomes painful because we wanted comfort. Life itself is often neutral. Our struggle comes from arguing with reality. The Buddha compared this to being struck by two arrows. The first arrow is the event itself. The second arrow is our reaction to the event. Imagine losing an opportunity you desperately wanted. That disappointment is the first arrow. But then the mind begins speaking. I'll never succeed. I'm not good enough. Everyone else is ahead of me. I should have done better. Those thoughts become the second arrow. And often the second arrow hurts far more than the first. The wisdom of Buddhism invites us to stop shooting ourselves with that second arrow. It teaches us to meet life as it is. Not because everything is perfect. Not because pain disappears. But because acceptance creates space for healing. When we stop fighting every wave, we discover we can float. When we stop resisting every change, we discover we can adapt. When we stop demanding certainty, we discover peace. This does not happen overnight. The restless mind has spent years learning how to hurry. Years learning how to worry. Years learning how to chase. Naturally, it takes time to learn a new way. Be patient with yourself. A tree does not criticize itself for growing slowly. A river does not apologize for taking a winding path. Why should you? Many people carry an invisible burden. They believe they should already be healed, already successful, already confident, already peaceful. But healing has its own timeline. Growth has its own rhythm. Transformation has its own season. The moment you stop comparing your journey to someone else's, you reclaim an enormous amount of energy. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of peace. It convinces us that our value depends on our position relative to others. Yet there will always be someone with more. More money, more recognition, more achievements, more possessions. If happiness depends on comparison, happiness remains forever out of reach. A Zen teacher once asked his students a simple question. If you have everything you need for this moment, what is missing? The students sat silently. One by one they realized the answer. Very little was actually missing. The mind had simply been trained to focus on absence, to focus on the next thing, the next milestone, the next purchase, the next achievement, the next solution, the next destination. But peace is rarely found in the next thing. Peace is discovered in this thing, this breath, this moment, this experience, exactly as it is. Notice how often the mind says, I'll be happy when I earn more. I'll be happy when I find the right relationship. I'll be happy when my problems disappear. I'll be happy when life becomes easier. Yet the destination keeps moving. One achievement creates another desire. One goal creates another goal. One finish line becomes another starting line. The cycle never ends. This is why so many people reach the things they thought would complete them and still feel empty. The external world can provide comfort, can provide opportunity, it can provide pleasure, but it cannot provide lasting inner peace. That peace must be cultivated within, like a garden, slowly, patiently, consistently. Imagine standing in a beautiful garden. You would not plant seeds in the morning and become angry by afternoon because flowers have not appeared. You understand growth requires time. Yet many people treat their emotional lives differently. They meditate for 3 days and expect permanent calm. They practice gratitude for a week and expect lifelong happiness. They begin healing and expect immediate transformation. But inner growth follows the same laws as nature. Small actions, repeated daily, creating invisible change, until one day the results become impossible to ignore. This is why the simplest practices are often the most powerful. A few mindful breaths, a quiet morning walk, a moment of gratitude before sleep, 5 minutes of meditation, a conscious pause before reacting. These actions appear small, but over time they reshape the mind. The Zen path is not dramatic. It is subtle. It is quiet. It is ordinary. And that is precisely why it works. Modern culture often glorifies intensity, extreme productivity, extreme ambition, extreme stimulation, extreme schedules. But the nervous system was never designed to live in a constant state of urgency. Eventually the body asks for rest. Eventually the heart asks for space. Eventually the soul asks for silence. The question is whether we listen. Many people spend years ignoring these signals. They continue pushing forward, working harder, sleeping less, feeling more disconnected, until one day they wake up and realize they no longer recognize their own life. They have become strangers to themselves. If that feeling sounds familiar, understand something important. You do not need to rebuild your entire life overnight. You do not need to escape to a mountain monastery. You do not need to abandon your responsibilities. You simply need to create moments of presence, small islands of stillness within the flow of daily life. Drink your morning coffee slowly. Feel the warmth of the cup. Watch the steam rise. Take a walk without reaching for your phone. Listen to the wind. Notice the trees. Observe the sky. Eat one meal each day without distractions. Taste the food. Experience the moment. When speaking with someone you love, truly listen. Not to respond, not to impress, simply to understand. These small acts may seem insignificant, yet they contain extraordinary power, because every mindful moment interrupts the cycle of unconscious living. Every mindful moment reminds you that life is not happening somewhere else. It is happening now, right now. As you hear these words, as you breathe, as your heart continues its steady rhythm, as existence unfolds around you, this moment is your life. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, the Zen masters often spoke about returning to beginner's mind, a way of seeing life with fresh eyes, a way of meeting each experience without assumptions. Think about how children observe the world. They notice things adults overlook. A leaf falling from a tree, sunlight moving across a wall, the sound of rain against a window. Simple moments become fascinating. As adults, we often lose that sense of wonder. We become so busy labeling life that we stop experiencing it. We know the name of the flower but forget to see its beauty. We know the schedule of the day but forget to feel the day itself. We know countless facts but remain disconnected from wisdom. Slowing down allows wonder to return, and wonder is deeply healing, because wonder pulls us out of mental noise and into direct experience. For a few moments, the constant commentary fades, the pressure fades, the worry fades, and what remains is simple awareness, pure presence. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. This is not falling behind. This is reconnecting with life itself. The world may continue rushing. Deadlines may continue arriving. Notifications may continue appearing. But within you, another possibility exists. A quiet center. A peaceful place untouched by chaos. A place that has always been there, waiting patiently for your return. And as we continue this journey, we will discover that slowing down is not merely about reducing speed. It is about remembering who you are beneath all the noise. Because when life becomes quiet enough, you can finally hear the wisdom that has been waiting inside you all along. There is a question that many people spend their entire lives avoiding. Who am I when I stop rushing? Not who am I at work. Not who am I on social media. Not who am I in the eyes of other people. But who am I when the noise fades? Who am I when there is nothing left to prove? For many, this question feels uncomfortable, because busyness can become a hiding place. We stay occupied so we do not have to face loneliness. We stay distracted so we do not have to face uncertainty. We stay in motion so we do not have to face ourselves. Yet the moment we become willing to sit quietly with our own experience, something remarkable begins to happen. We discover that beneath the stress, there is awareness. Beneath the fear, there is wisdom. Beneath the confusion, there is clarity. And beneath all the noise, there is peace. Not a peace that comes from controlling life. Not a peace that depends on perfect circumstances. But a peace that exists independently of what happens around us. This is one of the deepest insights of Buddhist practice. Peace is not something we chase. Peace is something we uncover. It has been there all along, hidden beneath layers of worry, expectation, and constant activity. Imagine a clear blue sky covered by dark clouds. The clouds move. They change. They appear and disappear. But the sky remains. Your thoughts are like the clouds. Your emotions are like the clouds. Your worries are like the clouds. They come and go. Yet there is something within you that remains steady. Something vast. Something calm. Something aware. Meditation teaches us to recognize that deeper part of ourselves, not by forcing thoughts away, not by fighting emotions, but by observing them with compassion. The moment you realize that you are not every thought that enters your mind, a great freedom begins. You no longer have to believe every fear. You no longer have to obey every anxious story. You no longer have to chase every impulse. You can simply observe. You can breathe. You can remain present. This is where emotional healing truly begins. Many wounds remain painful because we continuously resist them. We push them away. We judge them. We pretend they are not there. But healing often starts when we stop running, when we allow ourselves to gently acknowledge what we feel. Sadness, grief, disappointment, fear, regret. These emotions do not make you weak. They make you human. The Buddha never taught people to suppress their emotions. He taught awareness, compassion, understanding. When pain arises, meet it with kindness. When fear appears, meet it with patience. When sadness visits, meet it with gentleness. You do not have to fight every emotion. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is sit with it quietly until it passes, like a storm moving across the sky. Because every emotion is temporary. Every season changes. Every wave eventually returns to the sea. The same is true for the difficulties you face today. The situation that feels overwhelming right now will not remain forever. The challenge that keeps you awake at night will change. The uncertainty that troubles your heart will evolve. Life is movement. Life is change. Life is impermanence. And strangely enough, this truth is not something to fear. It is something that can set you free. If difficult moments are temporary, then suffering does not last forever. If painful seasons are temporary, then healing is possible. If everything changes, then new beginnings are always available. This understanding allows us to loosen our grip, to trust life a little more, to breathe a little deeper, to rest a little easier. As this journey comes toward its end, consider something important. What would happen if you stopped treating rest as a reward? What would happen if peace became a priority instead of an afterthought? What would happen if slowing down was no longer something you felt guilty about? The world may tell you that your value comes from how much you produce. Buddhist wisdom offers another perspective. Your value is not measured by productivity. Your worth is not measured by achievement. Your humanity is not measured by how busy you are. You are worthy of peace simply because you exist. You do not need to earn stillness. You do not need to qualify for rest. You do not need permission to care for your mind. You already deserve those things. Right now. Perhaps this is the message your heart has been waiting to hear. Perhaps this is the whisper life has been offering before it resorts to a scream. Slow down. Not because you are giving up, but because you are waking up. Slow down. Not because you are weak, but because wisdom grows in quiet places. Slow down. Not because life is ending, but because life is happening. Notice the people you love. Notice the beauty around you. Notice your breath. Notice this moment. One day, you may realize that the moments you rushed through were the moments that mattered most. The ordinary mornings, the peaceful evenings, the conversations, the laughter, the silence, the simple gift of being alive. Do not wait for exhaustion to teach you the value of rest. Do not wait for loss to teach you the value of presence. Do not wait for life to force you to slow down. Choose it willingly. Choose it today. Choose it with compassion. Choose it with awareness. Choose it with gratitude. And each time you feel yourself being pulled back into the endless rush of the world, remember this. The river reaches the ocean not because it hurries, but because it continues flowing. Calmly, patiently, naturally. You do not have to force your journey. You do not have to compete with time. You do not have to rush your healing. Trust your path. Trust your growth. Trust the unfolding of your life. And whenever you need a reminder, return to this simple truth. Peace is not somewhere ahead of you. Peace is here. In this breath. In this moment. In the quiet space within. May your mind become lighter. May your heart become softer. May your days become calmer. May your nights become restful. And may you discover that the life you were searching for has been waiting for you in the present moment all along. Thank you for spending this peaceful time with me. If this teaching brought comfort, clarity, or calmness into your day, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue sharing peaceful Buddhist wisdom, mindful living practices, emotional healing, meditation guidance, and Zen-inspired reflections with people around the world. Thank you for being part of the Soft Zen Mind community. Until next time, move gently, breathe deeply, and remember, let everything slow down before life forces you to. This is Soft Zen Mind.